Hello and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper Part 34. I accidentally started the new day last time, so we are here with Peek at our door. Sleeper, Peek is waiting for you in the corridor. It's time. Goodness, I didn't expect them to just arrive at our door. I just kind of automatically pressed it because for some reason I thought we had another day to wait. But we are straight back in. Peek looks pale and disheveled, with heavy marks under their eyes and strands of hair sticking to their face. For what? Oh, I'm ready. I feel like I should clarify, but will me saying I'm ready give them more confidence? Because no, I'm gonna clarify. I know it's to go and present the evidence, but let's check. Peek smiles weakly. Nice try, but we can't dodge this. I should have just said I'm ready. Damn it. Peek holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. All the data I have compiled on the flux event, the effects of the wave, and the structures that hide within is on here. Let's hope that doesn't get corrupted. You look at the tiny drive, a casket of dark secrets. I've annotated it to the best of my ability. Anyone should be able to understand the threat, the potential in this. Peek sighs. It makes for grim reading. Without intervention, the eye will suffer a cascading collapse of systems, just like the colonies of Ember's moon. What kind of intervention can we do? I'm wondering. Peek grimaces. That I'm still working on. Okay, so we don't actually know what the intervention is yet, we just know that we need to do something. Peek looks at the drive. This shadow in the flux, this protocol, it's so hard to pin down. It adapts to any countermeasure I have tried to deploy. It's like trying to hold water in a cage, it slips straight through. Oh, it's a shame the hunter and the killer isn't still about. Well, didn't we just damn the hunter to eternal loopiness? So maybe we could get the hunter back to... Although even we managed to escape the hunter, so that's probably not gonna work. It's like water, it'll slide straight through the tentacles. There has to be a way. You must keep looking. No, there has to be a way. Peek closes their hand around the drive. We need help, Sleeper. This is about everyone on this station, they sigh. We have to set up a meeting to tell someone who can do something about this. I think I'm continuing with my... I'm gonna go down the Helen route. Perhaps. Peek pauses. If anyone can protect the eye, it's Havenage. Oh, are we going someone completely different? But their internal politics will make it hard for them to act. Will they even listen to us? Or perhaps, Peek adds thoughtfully, we've been thinking about this all wrong. Is there some sort of underground system that we... Or what about Yatagan? They're like, self-declared protectors of the people. Peek's eyes glint. Why make a choice when we can tell both of them? Well, that's what I said. Why pick a side when the only side in the entire thing is the one we all need to take? Peek speaks as they think. Peek speaks as they think, their words barely keeping pace with their thoughts. We need to resist this together or we will fail. We need everyone on board, Sleeper. Peek smiles. That's the only way. We send the data to both. Yes, I am so on board with that. I didn't want to choose in the goddamn first place. You are right. Peek smiles. I'm glad you see it too. They look away. Another flux event is coming. I'm sure of it. And I'm not sure we can survive without help. I mean, that's been me this entire game. Peek opens their hands and holds the drive out for you to take. You need to do this, Sleeper. I can't. You know Sol, you know Helen. They trust you. To them, I'm just another spacer, but you are part of this place. Hearing someone else say it hits you hard. You're a part of the Eye, Peak is right. But right now that feels more like a weakness than a strength. Okay. I understand. I have set up a data relay at the cordon. It's neutral ground. Take the data and send it out to Havenage and the flotilla. Once they receive it, they will come. We can be sure of that. You will meet them there and take them through it all. No one could do a better job. They took a strand of hair behind their ear. Come with me. Yeah. Peak pauses. I can't. It would only draw suspicion on you. Havenage want nothing to do with us, and Saul is paranoid at best. Peak tentatively puts a hand on your shoulder. Thank you, Sleeper. I know this is hard, but we have to move forward. We can't keep this to ourselves anymore. They step back, looking thin and pale in the harsh station light. Come talk to me once it's done. And they slip away into the Eye. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I understand that, like, if they are seen as an outsider or something to both the flotilla and the Eye, that they might not get listened to. And we've made relations with both, so... Did I betray Helen before? I didn't betray her, I just couldn't stop Eshi. I think. The cordon. Okay. Oh, we need 5 flux datas, and it's the beginning of the final episode. Gotcha. Oh, maybe I should have just spoken to Peak at the end of the last episode, eh? Never mind. Once you send the data, episode Purge and the final series of events on the Eye will begin. Oh, I don't like final series of events, as if the Eye is going to explode. After this point, you will not be able to return to complete other drives, nor find other endings. It's permanent. The Eye's not going to recover. Make sure you are ready. Oh, shit. I don't like that. Well, let's see if we can find some more of these flux drives. I mean, we've got nothing else to do in the game, so we're just gonna have to do it, but... Oh, we have them! Oh, we literally have them already. I didn't... Oh, yeah. It's the thumb drive thing that, that Pete gave us. I got confused because it said it wanted 5. Right, well... Yeah, are we ready? I mean, I'm not, but we have to be. There's nothing else. There's nothing left to do here. We need to know how this ends. I guess staying isn't an option. Maybe. It depends if we find an intervention that works. Let's give it a go. Okay. We've done it. With the data sent, the only thing to do is wait. As you do, you imagine Helen receiving the data, perhaps in the middle of some Havenage council meeting. You think of her trembling hands as she slips out of the room to read it. Her reaction? You can't predict. I think this is the kind of news that you stay really calm when you read it, because that's all you can do. And you have a bit of disbelief. And it takes a little while to sink in, and then you have a meltdown later. That's how I imagine it. You imagine Saul too. And I imagine Saul getting more in the moment angry because he's already experienced this before. This is a different impact to him than it is to Helen. You imagine Saul too, one of his crew finding him in some corner of the Pilgrim Seed, overseeing the modifications that will turn it into an ark. Those sharp eyes scanning the data, looking for a way to proceed. The wait draws out, and to pass the time, you watch the activity beyond the edge of the Eye, the scrap shuttles pulling components from the now abandoned cordon, and the supply skiffs making runs between the flotilla ships. It isn't long before you hear the chirping of one of Helen's now familiar drones approaching the viewing platform, and then Helen herself strides into the room. Where did you get this, Sleeper? Helen holds up a slate, scrawling with streams of flux data as she enters. I need to know your source. It doesn't matter. I think. Hello to you too is too. That's not the time or place. We don't have that relationship. A friend? Oh, it doesn't matter. A friend. There's no point in being mysterious. You seem to have a lot of friends, Sleeper. Helen raises an eyebrow. But I need this data authenticated. I can't just... She pauses and pushes her hair back out of her face. This is a lot to take in. A shadow protocol inside the flux. The system kind channel starting up. A total collapse of the eye. She rubs her forehead. If I bring this to the council, they'll... She turns away. They'll ignore you. That's what's gonna happen, isn't it? Well, even if she believes us or not. Let's say it. She turns back to face you, her expression dark. Do you know what has been happening within Havenage, Sleeper? She looks away, out at the flotilla. Since the refugee ships started arriving, things have changed. It's chaos. No one can settle on a single issue. There is division at every vote. But in the division, only one group prospers. The hardliners. Because as each councillor gets tired of the arguments, gets tired of the compromise, they become more attracted to easy answers. The flotilla is to blame. The refugees are opportunists. The eye must be defended. Oh, this is what the excuses they make. She shakes her head. And now you're telling me they've brought something to the eye that can cause it to collapse? They didn't bring it. It doesn't matter, Sleeper. That is all the councillors will hear. I did also say that, didn't I? Like, of course they will. But all they need to do is look at the science. And actually have an open mind and listen and open ears, you know? She closes her eyes, a hand to her temple. Many of them already presume that the refugees are somehow to blame. For what? Did someone say refugees? Sol clanks into the docking bay, grinning at the situation. Speak of the devil, and well, I'm here. His suit hisses as he settles on his cane. Helen glances between the two of you, uncertain if she has been drawn into some kind of elaborate plan. She's hoping that we're gonna psych her out right now, but... Sol holds out a hand to her. Sol, he nods. I believe we've spoken remotely, while the cordon was still up. I sent both of you the data. Sol laughs. Well, thank you. He raises an eyebrow. Evidence of our mutual inevitable destruction is not much of an olive branch, but I'll take it. I mean, it's a hell of an olive branch to die on, I guess. Oh god, we have to be able to do something. This game cannot end in extinction, or maybe not extinction, but you know, does that, like, apocalypse? Oh, I bet it can. Okay. I'm not Havenage, Helen blurts out, then corrects herself. What I meant to say is, no one person represents Havenage. That's the idea. I did not support a cordon, and I did not support your quarantine. Sol nods. Well then, Sol glances at you. Anyone mind if I get myself up to speed here? He pauses, but you get the feeling he isn't expecting an answer. 1. The flux events. The very same destabilizing waves that collapsed the colonies of the moons of Ember have reached the station. He holds up a stubby finger. 2. According to data Sleeper provided, these events are acting as a cover for some kind of intrusive protocol which is causing the real damage. A second finger joins the first. 3. This shadow protocol will do the very same thing it did to Ember's song, Step and Hearth, and quickly. In short, it'll shut down everything keeping this place alive. A third finger pops up. 4. And this is my favourite. We have no idea who or what is doing this and why. Sol's final finger joins the other 3. Is that about the total of it all? That's it? Oh, there's also another flux event coming. Should we add the 5th? I mean, he summed it up pretty well. I knew he would at least understand it in a different way since they've already been through it. But what he said here, I guess, proper gave me a visual once again of the eye, but just if that happens, it's just gonna turn into a giant floating coffin, a mass grave, and it's terrifying. Like, it's just such a sad just a sad thing to imagine. So do we say that's it? Oh, there's another flux event coming. And that's gonna cheer him up, I'm sure. Of course there is. Sol smiles thinly. Sounds. Helen pauses, searching for words. Intimidating. That's an understatement, Helen. Helen turns to Sol. Did you manage to put up any kind of resistance on Ember's behalf? Sol shakes his head. That's why we're here. The Pilgrim Seed was the biggest ship to make it out unscathed. He pauses. I suppose we didn't have this data. We didn't know what was eating the systems. We all thought it was the flux. Helen looks at you. And I imagine you, Sleeper, and whoever helped you uncover this, might be able to figure out countermeasure? We can try. I mean, these are both true. I don't know. But we can try is a bit more hopeful. Helen nods approval. Okay, so that's the start of it. If you'll forgive me, Sol cuts in, part of why I was able to save as many as I could on Ember's half was that I gave up hope early. Yeah. Sol shifts his weight, his suit hissing. Oh, shit. Because they left early. Like, I guess they recognized the lost cause, saved as much as they could. Because if you leave it too late, if the system starts shutting down, there's no chance you can even hope to get everyone off. There were endless strategy meets, system reboots, tests and trials, but I just got on with working on the Pilgrim Seed, with getting people on board, so when the 2nd and the 3rd and the rest of the flux events hit, we were ready to go. Yeah, that's right. As soon as the first one hit. He's just like focused on getting off. So, if I can offer you some advice, Miss Not Havenage, it is to give up on that line of thought you have. That hope, and to start the evacuation now. Right this cycle. Sol looks out of the observation deck towards the Pilgrim Seed. I've already started the process of converting the remaining volume of the Pilgrim Seed for human habitation. With Havenage's resources, I dare say we could finish the job with time to spare. Yeah, but everyone on the eye isn't fitting on theirs, are they? The side reel's gone. Jeez. Sol scratches at his beard. I know it's hard, and I know it's sudden, but you have to give us hope. You have to give up hope, sorry. We have to run, and there will be no heroes here, just those that keep living and those that don't. Helen listens in silence, making calculations. And shock, probably. She looks out at the bulk of the Pilgrim Seed, which, despite all its vastness, is dwarfed by the eye as a whole. Something flickers in her eyes. She opens her mouth to speak. She stops, frozen. Let me think. Helen rubs her temple. I need a moment. Helen paces, and as you watch her, you realize how young she is, and how lost she is in the systems and protocols she has to navigate. You can almost see the strings and ties that bind her, glinting like webs in the wide space of the observation platform. Oh, that's cool. No, don't make me make this decision right now. No. I'm only gonna get to do one of these. I'm not even gonna get to go back and do both. Oh, damn. Right, the trouble with me, right? I find it hard to roleplay a bit when I've got outside knowledge, right? And what I'm thinking is, I'm gaming the game and I'm like, we know we don't get to continue after this finishes one way or the other. If we evacuate the eye, that makes sense. Everything's changed. If we purge the shadow protocol, sorry. You would hope that would get things back to normal, that we would save the eye, but we don't get to continue. So, I think either there's no good choice here. I think there's gonna be bad stuff happens either way. So right, my instinct originally would have been to stay and purge the protocol until I met Sol. And then I think of what they did, leaving their planets. And again, like I've said before, that was so difficult for them, but they did it. And they are probably the only survivors. And I don't want to be in that big floating space casket. But what's to say the Shadow Protocol isn't already in the ship, in Sol's ship? You can't outrun it if it's already in the system. And that does lead to the question of who is doing it and why. Is that ever going to be solved? And does it even matter at this point? I could imagine we complete this entire game without knowing that, because in this situation we wouldn't know. It would be really unlikely we would ever find out. I don't like making this decision right now. I feel like I need to go and talk to like the people that I've met along the way, and I mean, I guess what we actually would like to do is both, right? We let people know and they can make their own decision, and we can have volunteers to help with purging it, but we have the evacuation happen for the people who choose it, and then they can come back if we manage to fix it. That's what I would like, which to me means we need to do the evacuation. But that's not what's gonna happen. If we evacuate, we don't even try. If we evacuate, we are choosing to just leave this place to die. This is tough. I think we're gonna try the purge, and I think it's gonna be bad. And in real life, I might make a different decision. It might not be a decision right now. Again, it could end up that we do both. What if, we know Sol is doing the, like, what's it called? The refit of his ship anyway. So that's still happening whether we purge or not, so... And if we evacuate, everyone needs to know about it. So that means we're probably gonna have people wanting to purge. Okay, we're probably gonna do both. And I'm gonna purge. I'm gonna say we purge the Shadow Protocol. Helen stops pacing. But with what resources? The data you sent me, this thing is a shadow. Uncontrollable, untraceable. Perhaps with the full contingent of the Havenage Systems Department, but that will require hundreds of work orders to be overlooked. Fuck the politics at this moment, man. Oh my god. Annoys me so much. Maintenance schedules abandoned. She looks away. Getting that through the council? Would that even be possible? Well then let's fuck them off and leave. Oh my god, if that's how... Maybe we should just leave after all. God damn it. She glances at Sol, who is patiently watching, patiently listening. We have to try, or we do it without them. Oh. We do it without them? How would we... Right, we have me. We have Peak. Could we get Fang? Who else? Okay, this might not be a real decision. I don't know. We're just gonna get blocked at every step of the way. Oh, this is terrible. But the other thing that we can do is what we did before. And like, cause an absolute ginormous panic across the whole eye by telling everyone what's happening. Like, if there's ever a cause to abandon a regular schedule, it is the end of everything. For God's sake. We'll do it without them. Impossible. Helen looks at the slate again. I will take this to the council. Okay. Force them to listen. Force them to act. Well, why did you ask? Okay, that's fine. You both jump as someone loudly clears their throat nearby. Your eyes jump to the desk, to the dark entryway that Helen emerged from just minutes ago. Kemp. Havenage. Hardline Havenage councillor. These are the ones that are like right-wing, right? What a cozy little meeting this is. A man steps from the shadows, dressed in the same style of Havenage overalls as Helen. And I must say, that is some very incendiary rhetoric you are using, Councillor Helen. For God's... I already can't deal with this guy right now. Let's just kick him out of the cordon. Right into space. You glance at Helen and her face drops immediately. Kemp. She curses under her breath. Sol shifts his weight on his cane, but otherwise remains still, like a casual observer. Plotting against Havenage with an interloper? He gestures at Sol. Everyone will be so disappointed. Kemp smiles a bright smile. Some of the councillors had such high hopes for our youngest member. His smile drops off. I, of course, never let novelty distract from the importance of experience. Helen stares daggers at Kemp. Enough of this petty shit, Kemp. Oh, I nearly like spoonerism that. Enough of this petty shit, Kemp. You need to see this. She holds out her slate with an outstretched arm. The games are over. No more point scoring. No more lobbying. You and your hardliners need to stop. This is something real. Kemp calmly takes the slate and prods the screen. Scrolling through the flux data, his face betrays nothing, but you see some complex calculation and flickering in his sharp eyes. Kemp lowers the slate slowly and smiles at Helen. And what do you think this shows? Helen frowns. Don't play games, you can read. The flux is a carrier signal for some shadow protocol, most likely corporate in nature. Maybe it's Solheim re-emerging to claim their station. Maybe it's a takeover, but either way, the station is under threat. You are right about that, but the rest? Conjecture. What does that mean? Kemp rubs their chin. What we have is a virus in our systems which emerged precisely when the flotilla arrived. How predictable. In fact, it times in perfectly with the mysterious event that freed them. Ah. God damn it. So, what I see is a hostile cyber warfare attack instigated by dissidents that fled Ember's moons after committing terrorist attacks on their own soil. Kemp's face darkens. That is the order of the facts. Nothing more and nothing less. Or, you can talk to the people and find out. Facts I'll happily present to the council. Kemp tightens his grip on the slate. I am having a lot of regret at my decision. Right, so the reason that I wanted to purge the eye and not just take off was because I'm thinking of people like, oh man, I've forgotten everyone's names, but you know, all of the friends that we've made, the bar lady, Emphas, the father and child. Wait, did we send them off? I think they've left. Oh, I can't, yeah, I think they've left, but I don't think that they stayed because I think that needs a separate playthrough. But, so they're not here. But, yeah, the bar lady, Sabine, and their other half. Like, all of these people. Oh my god, my adoptive mother. What's her name? I've forgotten everyone's names, but... And not even just that, the Greenway. The entire thing. Like, oh my god, this is why I wanted to help it. And then you have these daft fucking politicians. Arrogant as shit, thinking they're above everything. Fuck off, Kemp. Fuck off. I will abandon my friends just so I don't have to deal with you. Jesus. Okay, Helen Maths. You think that's the only copy of that data, you sanctimonious shit? Hey Siri. Define sanctimonious.
Sanctimonious is a derogatory term. It means making a show of being morally superior to other people.
Okay. I didn't know what that meant, and I'm gonna start using Siri when I don't know the definition of words. Okay. Yeah, that works. Also arrogant. No, I don't. Kemp smiles. But who do you think they'll listen to, Helen? I know, what kind of threat was this? Especially after I tell everyone about this little clandestine meeting. Why would she be... Oh, I can't. I don't have the energy for people like this. You couldn't win power by Havenage's systems, by our laws, so you resort to this. Kemp shakes his head. The law is with me. It's as simple as that. Who gives a shit about the law? This is so above the law. He gestures, and out of the shadows, 2 Havenage security officers appear. Oh no. Now, no need for that. Sol suddenly speaks up. That's not good. His silence had meant Kemp had stopped paying attention to him. But now you notice he has backup of his own. Wait. Who does? Sol does? A group of his crew stand at the edge of the room. They're carrying long, boxy guns. Oh, is that Eshy's gun? Oh, Jesus, what's that? Things are escalating. You've never seen anything like them on the eye. Glossy XPR logos glint along their barrels. These are Eshy's guns. We found them. Kemp freezes and the officers hesitate, holding back in the doorway. Be careful there, outsider, he stutters. Kill me and Havenage will never forget. Oh, Havenage. Fuck off. Sol waves a hand at him. No one's killing anyone, so let's calm down. Sol scratches his beard. But I am gonna have to ask you to leave. Helen glances at him, and he gives her a gentle nod. And you'll leave your colleague here with me. He raises an eyebrow. We haven't finished our conversation. Yeah, Sol. Get him telt. Okay. Kemp laughs and shakes his head. You are finished, Helen. The council will never allow you back after this. Then he turns and walks out of the observation deck, taking his officers with him. I mean, she's still gonna get arrested or something as soon as she leaves this room. Like when she goes back to work or whatever. Unless she goes into hiding, but then how are we gonna fix the thing? You all pause to catch your breath. Helen looks ready to collapse. Sol flexes inside his suit, nodding at his crew to check that Kemp has fully retreated. Sol wrenches part of his suit back into place, grimacing. Your friends leave a lot to be desired. He shoots a glance at Helen. Seems like support for the evacuation might be a hard ask. Helen doesn't respond. She stares out at the pilgrim seed once more, trying to process what's in front of her. She sighs and turns back to you both. I won't call for an evacuation. She looks at Sol. Maybe that is a fatal mistake, but I can't do it. Oh, so... okay. Can we pressure her into it? I don't think that's going to help the situation. I think we are personally going to help Sol with the ship. I've always kind of thought that. We're going to have to find some more spores. But I never thought that she was going to call for an evacuation in the first place. That's why I've just been a bit thrown. I thought she was going to help us technically. Never mind. Well, I'm going to say you have to, because although I don't agree with putting pressure on her right now, she's literally ready to collapse. At least this balances out. It puts me back on the fence, right? Because I originally said no, and now I'm saying yes. Helen ignores you. Well, shit. But she pauses. I won't block it either. If people want to leave, Havenage will let them. That is what I will propose to the council. She sighs. If they let me speak. You have to try, or you have to do more. I don't think there's more that she can do. What can she do? They were literally there ready to do something to her right now. I don't know what they were going to do, if they were arresting her or what. How did they even have the power to do that? Is it... they're going to call it treason or something? No. Let's just say you have to try. But do more? I don't think that's fair. She nods at you and Sol and turns to leave. Sol is quiet. He scratches at his beard. Good luck. He offers to the departing Helen, but she does not respond. He leans on his cane. I'll be honest with you, Sleeper. None of this changes anything for me. The Pilgrim Seed will be going in a handful of cycles, whether Havenage wants it or not. What do you mean you can't abandon the Eye? Yes, you are totally allowed to abandon the Eye. How long? Sol grimaces. Honestly, as soon as we're ready. I'm not eager to run down the clock to the last cycle. Imagine flying away on this, looking out of the window, back at the system shutting down. Although you probably wouldn't see any change from the outside, but... Sol puts a hand on your shoulder. There's a berth for you, Sleeper. And for any you can gather... Oh, berth for you, and for any you can gather, Sleeper. That much I owe. I think Helen will... I just want to say thank you, but I am going to ask because I'm curious. And Helen? I wouldn't hold out much hope of her coming around, Sleeper. She's too tied up in all this, and it won't let her leave even if she wants to. Oh, you mean like mentally? Because I was like, she could sneak away if she wanted to, but... he eyes you. Hell, I'd say the same about you, but you have a habit of proving me wrong. I know. How many times have I gone back and forth in this conversation just right now? Is like, I thought so too, that I wouldn't leave, but at this point I'm gonna go and try and gather my friends. The cat. We need to go and get the cat. That's what we need to do. Okay. Okay, we have goals. My crew will take me from here. Don't you worry. Sol straightens up. Oh, and thank you, Sleeper, for sending the data. I appreciate the extra info, and I'll see if it can help us shore up the Pilgrim Seed against any future flux events. If we had you back on Ember's half, he pauses, suddenly losing his appetite for discussing the past. Sol sighs. Of course, we are going to need all the help we can get. If you can spare some time, come to the Pilgrim Seed and help me get ready. Bring others. There's a future to be earned here, cycle by cycle. I think I'm committing to this evacuation at this point. Fuck this government, man. It's not even a government. It's, well, I guess it is, but we will be leaving as soon as we are able. If you want to help us get there faster, well, you'd be welcome. He meets your eye. Oh, so completing the objectives will end it quicker. Oh shit, are we making the choice based on the timers? Also, I've just realized, is it Rico? Is that her name? The botanist? She's not gonna come. She'll die in the greenway. Rather than abandon it. She already made that choice years ago. Sol grimaces. Well, he pauses. Just don't keep me waiting. And limps off towards his waiting crew. You pause for a moment to let your thoughts catch up. Peak will want to hear about all this. They should be your first port of call. Okay, we really do need to deliver this news back. Wait, that's still just 4? Oh, that was a new drive. Evacuate the eye. I guess because we chose purging the system and not evacuating, evacuating is the true course. Like, we couldn't, our choice didn't matter. The flotilla is leaving with anyone who wishes to join them, but they'll need help if they want to leave before the flux hits. Help the pilgrim seed. Yeah. 100% yeah. Okay, let's check out then. Oh, so there's Peak. What does Peak just live on the pilgrim seed now? So, let's read these. Birth refitting. Building berths into the vast bulkheads of the pilgrim seed is a huge job, and Sol needs every able-bodied engineer to help. Is this the bedrooms and stuff? I think. So this one gets us 2, -1 condition. The evacuees will need many supplies for the trip to the starboard belt, and they have to be hauled aboard in only a few cycles. Hold on. Yeah, supplies. Okay. Again, same things. Fine. We can use lower dice on this one, and we need... The pilgrim seed will take the majority of the evacuees off the eye, but is there enough time to settle them all? Oh wait, there's not like a day counter, or is this the day count? No, because we're filling this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 6 good dice for this then. Doable in a couple of days, probably. But that seems like it's the end. We need to talk to Peak, so I'm just wanting to check in case anything was flashing over here. This is sad. I guess we're leaving. It goes against everything, all the reasons I wanted to stay, but everything's changed. The only thing is, we're back to, we're not gonna have stabilizer. Because it's this ecosystem that supports us. Right. Peak. As you enter the climbing briar, you immediately have to jump aside as Eshi, lugging a massive crate across the cargo bay, pushes past you, grunting an apology as she does. Stay silent, grunt back. Reminds me of when we met. Kinda just want to grunt back, but I'll just stay silent. As you turn back to the bay, Peak pushes past too. Sorry, sleeper, just a second. Peak rushes to catch up with Eshi. Put that down, please, Eshi. But she doesn't respond to their urging. We can't leave, not yet. Peak puts a hand on his shoulder. Please, I'm the only one here who can... The crate drops, the sound of its impact echoing around the bay like thunder. Can do what, Peak? Her eyes are burning with anger. Save this place? Are you still that naive? We are running, Peak. We are running because this thing cannot be stopped. It couldn't be stopped at XPR, our home. Why would we stay here to stop it? Because we can, Eshi. We can give these people a chance. Peak pleads with her. Like they gave the refugees a chance? Eshi shakes her head. No, Peak. This is not on us. We barely made it out of XPR. I worked for years to escape, and now you want to throw it all away? I left everything behind. My mother, my friends, to take you out of this place. She clenches her jaw. She turns and slams her head onto the crate, breathing hard. Hand, not head. Just bashes her head off the crate. Hand onto the crate, breathing hard. We go. That's the end of it. I don't get on very well with Eshi. She's too abrupt and she doesn't listen, and that annoys me. Pig turns away. You feel unsure what to do, but you know now is not the time for outside arguments. This is between them. Pete crosses the bay back towards you. I'm so sorry I had to see that sleeper, they sigh. Let's talk upstairs. Pete leads you to the entry ladder, taking you up out of the bay and into the habitation level of the ship. You follow them through the tight corridors, noticing the handwritten notes, the clutter, the repairs, the signs of a home. Here, sit. Pete gestures to the broad mess table with its curved couches, and you slide in on one side. Pete sits opposite. They brush the hair out of their eyes and take a deep breath. So, how did it go? What did they say? I've been waiting all cycle. Can I tell them all of these things? We'll start with the evacuation. Peak nods slowly as you tell them about Sol's plan to equip the Pilgrim Seed to take as many refugees as they can from the Eye. You admit you don't know how long you have before he leaves. An evacuation. Peak shakes their head. It's insane. Sol surely knows this can't work. Peak looks down. He just wants to keep running, to hold on to what he has. I can't blame him. He meets your eye. What did Helen say? Peak looks increasingly troubled as you tell them about the hardline counsellor, Kemp's sudden appearance. Damn. Then Helen's gonna have problems of her own to deal with. Peak shakes their head. Looks like we won't be able to count on anything from Havenage. They pause. What stopped Kemp from arresting her? Oh yeah. Tell them about the guns. Peak rolls her eyes. Of course. Those are the guns Eshi managed to smuggle through to the refugees. The ones she didn't tell us about. I wonder if anything had gone different previously, if they didn't get the guns, and if maybe she would have got arrested in that moment. I don't know. It might not be that divergent or whatever, but I wonder. Another thing that's on us. It's a good job they had them, in fairness. What's on us? As she's standing quietly in the doorway listening. You don't know how long she's been there for. But she clearly didn't hear about the guns. Peak looks up at her with tired eyes. Sleeper found the weapons you smuggled from XPR. As she freezes, she glances between you and Peak as if this might be some elaborate joke. The flotilla used them? As she moves out of the doorway and enters the room. What happened? Peak interrupts. Be thankful that they didn't. They used them as a threat, that's all. Good. As she folds her arms, you get the feeling she knows Peak will not approve. Peak goes to speak, and then decides not to take the bait. They glance at you. I'm sure you've heard enough of us arguing this cycle, Sleeper. Peak shoots a look at Eshi. But our introduction of those weapons into the equation are just another reason why we cannot simply run away. Eshi looks away, but says nothing. She surely knows they cannot absolve themselves of responsibility here. So what is motivating her? You realize that she might still be trying to protect Peak, even from themselves. Suddenly, a shrill beeping fills the room. Oh no. And Peak pulls out their slate to silence it. But as they do, they freeze, their finger hovering above the screen, the beeping continuing its insistent pulse. What's happened now? Peak doesn't seem to hear you. They blink with glazed eyes at the slate. Then they let out a long exhale and tap the screen. The beeping shuts off, leaving a ringing silence behind. As she frowns at Peak, planning to explain? 12 cycles. Peak looks vacantly up at you both. 12 cycles until the next flux event. They shake their head. I've been using the arrays on the Briar to look towards the center of the system, to approximately where the CAN channel should be. Just this moment they detected a signal from the inner system. Given the distance and pattern of previous flux events, we have 12 cycles before it reaches the eye. The silence in the room is deafening. 12 cycles, that's it, before a second wave hits this place. Peak interrupts your thoughts. We start now. That's the end of it. Peak stands up to face Eshi. You want to take the Briar and run, Eshi? That's on you, but I won't do it. They take a deep breath. I'll be here, Sleeper, for every cycle it takes, trying to find a solution. I'll need your help. Their eyes meet yours and you see wild desperation flickering there. We'll find something. Am I gonna have to choose? Is this all gonna be too much to do in 12 days? I think I need to get Soul's ship one away from being ready. Although I don't know if there's gonna be more phases to that. Okay. The sooner we have a plan, the better. If it takes us 12 cycles to fix this thing, it'll be too late. Peak's eyes flash with determination. They reach for a slate and pass it to you, so we can keep in touch. You pocket the thin handheld terminal. And Eshi? Peak starts, but she is gone, storming down the corridors of the ship on a path to who knows where. Like, she needs to give them some credit. They can think for themselves. You know? She needs to step back. You know from experience that it is impossible to outrun your fears, but you get a sense that Eshi will try anyway. Maybe, Peak rubs their red eyes, staring after Eshi. Maybe I'll take a moment before we start. They smile weakly, tears of exhaustion gathering in their eyes. See you back here soon, okay? And you slip from the room into the corridor, Peak's quiet sobs somehow carrying through the ship behind you as you leave. Damn. It's a very stressful situation. I mean, obviously. But, yeah. So this is the 12 days. Let's check what we can do here. Terminal flux. The next flux event is coming and it can't be stopped. The sooner your preparations are complete, the better the outcome. All we have is this, devise a strategy. That's not even carrying out the strategy. Peak is tirelessly analyzing the flux data and testing countermeasures on the Shadow Protocol. They need your help. That gives us +2. Okay. Since it's only energy, we can eat. So we can use all dice on this. Peak, I read that one, sorry. Peak is desperately looking for a way to combat both the upcoming flux event and the Shadow Protocol infecting the station. So this one's only 6, this one's only 3 dice. 3 good dice. So we can do that one today and see what the next phase of it is. And we do know we need to get on here. It's just Pilgrim Seed will take the majority of the evacuees off the eye, but is there enough time to save them all? I was just trying to determine whether is this the start of fixing up the ship, or is this the entirety of fixing up the ship? Because I don't want to get this prepared to 1 dice away and then finally do it thinking we've succeeded and then another job comes up. But I mean, we can see how the time goes, and for now I want to do this one. No, not this one. Not in it. This one, sorry. We should also go and check in case there's anything with Havenage and Helen, because something could happen there. So here's the next one. Protect the eye. So it is both of them. Peak needs a plan to protect the eye from the Shadow Protocol before the next flux event. So even if we make a plan, we've got to pull it off too. Right, let's use this one here. We'll use the 4 on the Pilgrim Seed. Yeah, with the, because we can use 4s here. And then we'll re-roll these. Damn, okay. Well. Oh. As you stop to rest on one of the Pilgrim Seed's cavernous bays, hopping up to sit on a supply crate, you hear the now familiar voice behind you. Sleeper, glad you are here. Sol's suit hisses as he clanks up towards you. I knew you'd help us out. We sure do appreciate everything you do for us. No worries. Building up to something seems a bit rude. I do mean it, Sleeper. He looks away down the bay, to where sparks jump from welding torches. It's a grim job to be doing without a few friends around. Sol settles beside you, flinching a little, but making himself comfortable on the crate. Seems the word got out, this way or that. He nods towards the welders a little way off. One of them wearing shipyard overalls. We've had people flowing in from the eye looking for a place. Oh my goodness, it's a side reel all over again. In truth, it's more than I thought, Sol sighs, which means more mouths to feed, more bodies to house, more people to protect. How is it more than you thought? You offered to take people from the eye. Can we do it? Sol frowns. We'll do what we can, as always. I'm not sure any of it can be enough. He looks down. We're supposed to stay here. We were supposed to stay here, not keep running. Sol waves away the thought. Don't listen to me. He gives you a sideways glance. Just a tired old man. He stretches. I have something to ask, though. What is it? With all these evacuees, we'll need... we need a change in plan, he shrugs. Pilgrim Seed can't do it alone. We need others to help out. We can carry them, house them, but that's all. Now you settled down the folks from Ember's Step, and they sent us supplies growing in those dust houses of theirs. If we could get more, he nods to himself. And then the song crews, he rubs his chin. What we need from them is scouting and security. We don't need that docking access of theirs. But with some careful scavenging, they could be our fleet. These folks, they already know you, Sleeper. You earned their trust already. He put a hand on your shoulder. I sent my requests out, and they seem to be complying, but I need you out there making sure the work gets done. Time is our greatest enemy now. Sol stares into the distance. I need you out there speeding things up. You ask too much. This is very renegade. Of course. Alright then. He climbs off the crate, his suit hissing as he does. Think of it this way. Either way, you won't have to deal with me much longer. He smiles his uneven smile. Unless, of course, you are planning to come along for the trip. Oh, I thought you meant like you were old. So even if I do come on the trip, I'm considering it. Sol nods. Lots to think about, he winks. Just don't let it get in your way. Sol waves a hand and starts off towards the bay's entrance, the crackling sound of the welding quickly covering up his clanking suit. You watch the workers, the shipyard contractor, chatting among them, already looking like he belongs. You push the thought of escape, of home, and of the future to the back of your mind and get up. There's always more to do. You better head to the other ships in the flotilla to see what can be done. Okay, so this is like... These ships need each other. I was thinking about this between recordings. Is like... They can't exist without each other. So this needs to become a fleet that works together. That these provide the food, like, so these provide the security, I guess. And then these provide the housing and the bulk of everything else. It's, and it could be the thing where they rotate. I've mentioned that somewhere before, like, if needed, people could potentially leave from here to go and work in food production and stuff like that. And shift around so that they're all gaining knowledge, they're all not getting, like, too bored living within the same walls. And learning to provide and help each other and do the jobs that they can do, and then other people can do the jobs they can do, so that hopefully everything's covered. What I'm doing here, I was wanting to check down here and double check the Havenage area, and just in case there's anything new here. There isn't. Let's just check Tala. Yeah, see, there's nothing new here. I just wondered if in the end we were going to be able to go around and gather people if we are going to leave. Who knows? But right now we have people to speak to and we have dice to spend. So I think we need to speak to everyone before we spend them. Obviously, spending one dice here has unlocked the rest, so it isn't just this after all that. But right now, we're kind of at time for the episode, so we can come back and do these next time. And we have not begun on this yet. I thought we had. Oh, we have. Yeah, we have. Yeah, we want to prioritize this. So in the next episode, we're going to talk to the other ships again, see what kind of things we need to help them with. And we aim to complete this as soon as possible because there's going to be a next step to this. So that we can get all the information and divide our attention where we see fit, basically, because I feel like it would be a good game design decision to not allow us to do it all, because that forces us to have to make a choice. But I also don't mind it giving us a happy ending if we can do both. So we're just gonna have to see. But that is the end of this episode, so I will thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time for some more Citizen Sleeper. Bye bye.